Hello everyone, thank you for coming. Welcome set mates. Take a seat around the fire as usual. Tonight we will be starting our play of Gibbous, a Cthulhu adventure, which is a point and click adventure game, classic style essentially. Of course, graphics are a lot better than what we might remember back in the day when we were playing good old classics like Fate of Atlantis or all the classics from Sierra. But from what I saw, because I booted it a little bit just to see if it worked correctly, from what I saw, it's very much in the spirit of those good old comedy games back in the day. Similar interface, the like we saw more in the late stages of the 90s, with only one or two options when you click on a hotspot, and a few more modern sensibilities that games have started having when a lot of these games were ported to formats like cell phones, for example. They started having buttons you can press to see all of the hotspots on the screen. So this game does that as well. In addition to a couple of things that I found was interesting ways to adapt classic problems, essentially, of the adventure games. I'll talk about that a little bit more when I get into the game. But before I boot the sequence, the introduction sequence, I wanted to make a little bit of an announcement. Last week, for those who came on the channel, saw that we were playing the demo, 10 minutes, the first 10 minutes of a demo for a game called Werewolf the Apocalypse, Heart of the Forest. At the time, I was limited to 10 minutes because that was what was allowed. However, the demo for the game is now officially out. Anyone who was registered for the newsletter should have received a link today in their email with a Steam key that you can use to reclaim your own copy of the demo. So feel free to go ahead. However, if you want to wait and share it with everybody, know that next week we'll be taking a short break from Gibbous, and we will be playing the entire demo. Not just 10 minutes, we will be playing the entire thing, the whole demo. I'm told it is roughly 40 minutes long, so I'm thinking we'll have time for 2 playthroughs next week. And I'm aiming for a Ragabash and an Aram play, so we can see the full extent of what the rage mechanics have to offer in the game and how it can affect the storyline, not just in terms of options we can choose, but also I'm told some characters don't want to be around you when you're an Aram, for example. So I'm looking forward to discovering that with all of you next week. So look forward to that. As always, if you have any questions either about Gibbous or Werewolf in general or Heart of the Forest, feel free to ask them in the chat. Make sure to put a tag question before your question so it attracts my attention while I'm playing Gibbous, and I will answer as well as I may. However, if your question is about Gibbous, know that I'm playing completely blind. I only chose this game for its title, which is a reference to, for me anyway, it's a reference to the Gibbous moon. I have no idea if that's why he chose it, but the Gibbous moon in Werewolf is the moon of the Galliard auspice, which is my auspice. We'll most likely next week discuss what exactly are auspices. Right now, I might be losing a few of you. That's fine, because this game has nothing to do with that anyway, so I'm not going to go into details into the 5 auspices, but next week, before I start the demo, I'll be quickly explaining what the 5 auspices are, so we know what we're getting into before we start. So right now, I am ready to go, and I hope all of you are as well. So let's see what Gibbous has to offer, starting the intro now.
Read all about it, sir. Hurricane Herbert, storm of the century.
A storm. That's the least of my worries. Change. Everything's changing. Always changing. What's a Joe supposed to do? You take a new case and it's all you can do to be prepared for whatever it throws your way. The only thing you can know is whatever it's tossed at you won't make any kind of sense butt up against the last thing. It's the change, you see. I've been hired to locate some kind of ancient book. Supposed to have inside of it the kind of stuff makes a Joe's guts turn salt and sallow. Real type mystical mumbo jumbo, which I guess explains the weirdo cults popping up all over Darkham. You know something's left of center when the folks hiring you want to keep themselves all secret-like. Cash is cash, though, and I could really use the milk. That something doesn't change. I put some weight on my man in rare and forbiddens. The kind of pressure makes a Joe's stomach jackflip, and he points me at this dark and ancient library. Dark and ancient? Huh. What's not dark and ancient in Darkham? Damn. Most times, the new is just as bad as the old. Sometimes worse. Well, here it is. Miskatonic Library. Not the, friendliest place in town. And this town and friendly ain't even in the same zip code.
Okay, that was one of the introductions of the game, but actually there's another one, and I don't know why it wasn't shown. I'll see if I can get back into a cutscene menu so you can see. There's a bit of explanation on the book we're looking for, which of course is the Necronomicon. What else? But before I do that, just wanted to show, if you saw down there, there was a bit of a tutorial here that says press spacebar to see the hotspots that I was talking about. So we've got Darkham, and even more Darkham. So we will be taking a look at all of that in a minute. Okay, so that looks to be the inventory. Good to know. I will be saving over my original save. Quit to main menu. Cutscenes, yeah, I thought I saw that. Okay, so that's the introduction we're supposed to see before the bit we just saw with Dawn. It gives a bit of background, actually.
Brothers and sisters, settle! I come to you this day with great news. My starry disciples, our search is nearly complete. For decades we've toiled and scoured and fished about this wretched continent for that ever-elusive tome, the Grimoire Eternus, the book to end all books, the storied and long-fabled...
The Necronomicon!
Yes, Sister Halo, that's the one. Next time, maybe you let the actual cult leader speak its eternally horrible name, yeah? Thank you. The Necronomicon! Yes! No doubt some among you have questioned its very existence. Our search has been wide and our labor great, with as yet no return. Well, brothers and sisters, it may be that we have come upon its actual location. Brother Bright. Gregory, we talked about this, man. This night, brothers and sisters, our men
And women?
Of course.
and women are on their way to retrieve that tome as we speak. Is this not what we've been looking for since our establishment is a legitimate death cult? Yes! Is it not in our official membership charter? Yes! Is it not we who should be the first and only to lay our hands upon it? Yes! Shall we let the abominable butcher or other lesser cults get their stinking paws on our glorious bounty now that it is so closely within our reach? Yes! No! And with the Necronomicon finally in our hands, nothing will stop the Haunter from regaining his true form. No end to the work!
Okay.
So where is it?
We have found him, brothers and sisters. The man who will lead us to it. We have found him, and we watch. We watch.
There we go. So my theory so far is that this particular cults are the ones who have hired Dawn to do the thing, to find the book. Apparently they've been searching forever for a normal library that happens to be in the town they're in. Yeah, we'll see. As I mentioned, it's a humorous take on the Cthulhu myth, so I really don't know what to expect. Could be funny, could be that some of the jokes don't land. I found the cellular joke funny enough. Most of the other ones fell a bit flat for me, but we'll see where we are. I like the name of the town, like Darkham. It makes me think, of course, of Arkham and Gotham. Bit of a dark Batman vibes, I think, in the color scheme. So wondering if they're gonna maybe push that joke, or if I'm just completely in the wrong and that's not what they were going for. Who knows? So, as I was saying a bit earlier, there is a classic flaw to a lot of adventure games of the 80s and 90s era, where when you interact with something, sometimes you can do it more than once. The exact same action might yield a different result if you do it a second time. And some of the puzzles back in the day were really obnoxious because sometimes you had to do it 3 times or 4 times. And all the times before that, you had the same result. You had no way to know that something was going to be different about it. This game does it a bit differently, and I like it. I like what they're doing. I will let the game show you what they did. And I'll explain in a second. When I click on an hotspot, I see my 2 options. Look and interact. Obviously, I can't interact with the city,
No,
but
I gotta investigate the library first.
obviously. When I look at, see what happens.
Darkham. Horrible hellhole. Never thought I'd stick around when I came here 23 years ago. She was local, young and unstable, and I was probably too much to handle. Then she left me with an empty bottle of 81 proof and a broken heart. My gut instinct was telling me I could look at everything a second time, glean extra information that might be useful, or not.
They're telling you that it's a thing. Early on, they just tell you, by the way, you may want to look at things multiple times. Now look what happens when I do it again. So far, no difference. The icons are the same. I'm gonna look again.
The brooding, festering horror of the ancient town. Weird. That just popped into my head from nowhere.
Third
A
time.
sea of rotting roof tiles, decaying masonry, and who knows what dormant evils.
Boom. See, something changed here. The eye is no longer open, looking around excitedly. It is now closed and tired. That is the game telling you you can't do anything else with it. If I don't even know if I can click actually.
Darkham.
Yeah.
Horrible hellhole.
I
Never
can't.
thought I'd stick around, and then she left.
I can, but it's just going around again. The game is telling you you've exhausted this. You don't need to click there again. So that's very, very interesting. Looks simple enough, but if you played games like these back in the 80s or the 90s, trust me, that's an upgrade.
Not nearly as badly lit as the name would suggest, but more than compensating on the creepy scale. Not your prettiest tourist-friendly town.
Okay, we've exhausted. So we can't look at the... We can actually. Oh, okay. Not all of the... Okay, good to know. Sometimes we can click somewhere that isn't actually a hotspot. Didn't know that.
Crescent moon, shining down on the horrid husk of a town that is Darkham. I guess we can use all the light we can get in this dump.
Is he gonna howl at the moon? That would be cool.
Moon doesn't do anything for me. Surprisingly colorful here and there, but I didn't let that fool me. The town had been bubbling with occult activity for a while, and I was about to look deep into it. Like a sea of ugly, decrepit, tile-covered whales.
Here we are. Okay. So that's the looking around, and of course we could get into the library, but I'm going to look at the gargoyle and column first. There was a set of rules that you could often see in the guides back in the day. There were two very important rules. One of them was save early, save often. That is because back in the day, pretty much everything was out to kill you. That changed sometimes in the 90s, but early adventure games, you could die any random click you were doing on anything at all. If you hadn't saved for an hour and a half, and you for example, in Gabriel Knight, you died in Germany because you didn't look both sides of the street before crossing. That silly as that. If you didn't look, you would die every time you crossed the street. That's how games were back then. Yeah. So save early, save often was one of them. The other very important rule was pick up everything that is not bolted down. So it's extremely important in this game to look at everything and pick up everything you can, because the puzzles are mostly inventory based. Right now our inventory is very small. We only have Dunn's diary. Probably going to look at that before we enter. Might give us some information on the quest we're on. But as we go, we're going to collect a whole bunch of items. And the key of these games is to figure out... Actually, the other rule is use everything everywhere. Click everything on everything, I believe, actually. The rule was. So it's important to get as many things as you can to solve any upcoming puzzles. So let's see what we can do with this gargoyle right here.
Looks like some kind of gargoyle, swallowed almost whole by those dead vines. I'd love to blame it on modern art, but this is really ancient stuff. It's just creepy as hell. Maybe I could use somebody, but this gargoyle ain't it.
Interesting. I like the comment about I could blame it on modern art, because in Cthulhu myth there are some places like Reliath that don't conform to Euclidean geography. So the fact that it's ugly and it got weird angles and everything is maybe a reference to that, in addition to modern art, which makes very little sense.
Maybe I could use somebody, but this gargoyle ain't it.
Okay, so the use interface does not do the same thing. Okay, that's good to know as well.
There's tiny graffiti on it. Stay in school. I guess it's an advice column.
Okay, that's a good pun.
The pillars of knowledge. Or just, supporting masonry.
All right, we're going inside.
They really went out of their way to make this place as creepy as possible.
Okay, so F5 I assume is quick save. Yeah, okay, that's good. That's interesting.
I'll bet the common Joe doesn't even know what a bas relief is. I'd wonder exactly what that bass needs relief from. The oppressive, stagnant atmosphere of Darkham. A drudging, boring life stuck in a library interior. An uncertain future in the face of an uncaring populace. The ridiculousness of this fish pun? I don't know. No one can be Sturgeon. Who gives a carp?
Pushing the joke a bit far on this one. By the way, for people in the chat, if you want me to try anything, or if, because by the way, we will get stuck. That's just going to happen. Adventure games are known for being extremely obtuse. There will be a point where I run out of ideas and I don't know what to do. So feel free to go in the chat and suggest courses of action that you think might yield good results. And if we get genuinely stuck, don't worry. I will consult a walkthrough. I shamelessly will consult walkthrough, because watching someone get stuck for an hour will not be fun, and I don't want to put you guys through this, put you set mates through this, so I won't let it happen. Don't worry. We're nowhere near that, though, of course.
Rows and rows of moldy old books. For some reason, they seem particularly unattractive. The more I look at them, the less interesting they get. joy of reading. Those look like the exception.
It might be overplaying the multiple times. The option to look multiple times at stuff. Like, so far, everything has been 2 or 3 times lines of text. It's probably going to get a bit tiresome at some point.
That's where folks get strange, ancient diseases by flipping the wrong pages with their bare fingers.
How apropos in 2020.
Wear protection. Goes for libraries, too.
Jeez.
Nobody there. Looks like it's just me and this librarian fella. It's a dusty old book. Its title's really hard to read. A very convenient treatise on the order voodoo magic ingredients should be used in. Useless garbage.
Okay, I'm gonna look at this one. This one is actually very interesting. I looked at it when I booted the game. There's a good joke in there. I'll explain it if you don't get it.
It's the popular book section. Apparently, all Daniel Maroon novels. You know, Vatican mysteries and all that.
Gonna keep clicking once or twice and then I'm gonna explain it.
Daniel Maroon's anathemic adventures. Daniel Maroon's blood-boiling baptism. Daniel Maroon's clerical conundrums.
So, of course, Daniel Maroon is a wordplay for Daniel Brown, who wrote all kinds of conspiracy books back in the day. I forget the titles right now, but of course, Da Vinci Code is one of them. So in itself, that's very interesting in terms of making a wordplay on an author. But the other thing they did here is complete, actually, waste of time probably, but I find it interesting that he did that. To make a joke about a prolific author having all kinds of books, they actually made 26 consecutive jokes here. If you notice, the first title was AA, the second BB, the third was CC.
Daniel
this one's going to
Maroon's
be DD.
Deacon's Debauchery.
Deacon's Debauchery.
Sounds spicy.
They did that with every goddamn letters of the alphabet. That's dedication to a bad pun, seriously.
Not really my type of literature, but I can take a look at them.
Strange medallion.
It's like that strange, tentacled beast is watching me. That thing is very unnerving. I feel like poking it in its plaster eyes.
Probably not something you want to do to a Cthulhu effigy.
Can't reach it from down here, and I'm not sure I want to.
You do not, I confirm.
That desk is literally blocking my access to knowledge. A little on the plain and ugly side, too. I guess I could lean on it while I interrogate the librarian, but I'm naturally intimidating.
Not sure I'd go with intimidating. Okay, if we go here, do we have something new on spot there? No, we don't. Okay, so I guess we're going to talk to the librarian. But let's check him out first.
If my detective cylinders aren't misfiring, that's gotta be the librarian.
No, really?
Who would grab and stick to this kind of job in this kind of place? They must have fishhooked them. Free internet'll do that to a Joe. This librarian looks a few centuries short of the age requirement.
I don't know if we have any fans of Welcome to Night Vale here, but if there are, I don't know if you're like me, but I can't see the word librarian and just not react. They're in the mythos of Welcome to Night Vale, librarians are monsters, actually. It's one of the most terrifying things ever. So it's changing my perception of this scene, let's just say, especially in conjunction with the Cthulhu myth.
Evening.
Good evening, sir.
Oh, okay. This is actually fairly classic way of doing conversations in adventure games. They're usually 3 to 4 options. Some of them might essentially open up branching dialogue later on. But yeah, that's pretty classic.
So, how's things in the library business?
You know, can't complain. It's a living.
Those electronic books hitting you folks hard these days?
Nah, not really. People don't tend to read much at all anymore, so it's all the same to us.
Fair enough.
Interesting library you got here. Is it old?
Yeah, pretty old.
It's old, huh? How old?
Like really, really old. You might even say it's ancient.
Ancient, huh? How ancient?
It was established by one Jeremiah Orn in, let's see, 18... A really, really long time ago.
Huh. Thanks for the info.
Sure.
The name's Ktype. Don Archetype. Here to see about a book.
Well, you've come to the right place.
Yeah. It's called the Necronomicon. Do you have it?
Oh, that book. Yeah, let me check. Yeah, they're all lent. All versions of it.
There's more than one?
Why, sure. You've got your, Oh, wait. You're talking about the real Necronomicon, aren't you? Yeah, no, sorry. That doesn't actually exist.
Doesn't exist, huh? My employer seems to think otherwise.
An ancient grimoire full of arcane writings that can summon powerful demonic entities and potentially fold reality onto itself? We don't really carry that kind of stuff here. Chances are, it's nothing but a myth, Mr. Ktype.
Well, there we have it. The book doesn't exist. That was a short game. Thanks for coming. Okay.
Aren't you a bit young to be a librarian?
Look, I can tell you come from a different era, but between you and me, that's straight up ageist.
Oh, really? And that, different era business ain't?
Touche, Mr. Ktype. I'm a student, it's a job, it's quiet, it pays the bills.
Aren't you a bit too old to be a student?
I like the cut of your jib. That's something your type would say, right?
My type? Now look here, son.
There it is again.
Ugh.
Wow, that was a convincing grunt.
You, wouldn't happen to be intentionally trying to conceal it from me, would you?
I'm just a librarian, sir. As far as I know, the real Necronomicon is a myth. Sorry to disappoint you. You haven't been the first to come and ask about it, and you probably won't be the last. Definitely our most popular and existent book.
Who else has been interested in it?
Everyone, from excitable teenagers to these freaky cultist types that seem to crop up everywhere in the last few months. Just when you thought Darkham couldn't get any weirder, these clowns come along and prove you so wrong.
Okay.
What can you tell me about these cultists?
They come in all shapes and sizes. Can't really tell them apart. I mean, it's not like they waltz in here dressed up in ceremonial robes or anything, but you can tell from the way they speak, they're not all there.
I guess we're going to be investigating cults instead, actually.
No such thing as the Necronomicon, you say? Mind if I, snoop around your collections a little while?
I don't mind personally. You'd have to talk to Mr. Warren about the rare books department, though. At the moment, he's really busy with some new arrivals upstairs, so you'd have to wait a while. But, sir, waste of time, really. That book is just a legend. An ugly, ugly legend.
I didn't catch your name, Mr.
Kerwin. Buzz Kerwin.
That's an interesting surname, and an accent that I can't quite place.
Yeah, I'm half Romanian. My mom was born in Transylvania. I kept her family name because it sounds cool, you know?
Never get teased because of that?
No. For Buzz, on the other hand, plenty.
All right, Mr. Kerwin. I guess I'll have to wait.
Nice feature. Oh.
There's a thing on the doorstep there. Looks like a package. It ain't for my nose, but I could pass it on to the librarian. It's this thing I found on the library's doorstep. Looks like a package of some sort. I found this thing on the doorstep. Were you expecting a package?
No, not really. Let's see it. There's a note here. Oh, it's for you.
For me? What does it say?
Too long have you meddled in our business, K-type. Here's your chance at a bright future for a change. Muhahahaha. Is it me or is this thing ticking? Mr. K-type! He's gone.
Was that you making all that racket, Kerwin?
No, Mr. Orange, sir. Someone set up a bomb in here. I was about to call the police.
Nonsense! You call this a bomb? You should have seen Dresden, son. Now that's
Wow.
firepower right there. Clean up a little, will ya?
Okay, sir.
Okay, that is obviously a reference to Harry Dresden, which is a wizard in a series of books known as the Dresden Files. Very, very good series of book. The 16th book, I believe, just came out this year. And one of the running gags in the game, in the books, is that Harry can't enter a building without burning it down, essentially. He's very good at evocation, which is a type of magic where you spawn elements or effects, essentially, and he's particularly good with fire. And a lot of time he ends up in trouble when he goes into buildings, and just stuff happens, and the building just ends up burning down. So, yeah, that was a reference. That was definitely a reference. Shoe. Medallion.
It's
Okay.
Mr. K-type's shoe. Well, I feel like I should call him Don now that we've been through this together. It's Don's shoe. It's Don's shoe. It's all he's left behind.
Okay, just as a game design perspective I'm going to give here, I said earlier that the multiple times you have to look at things might eventually grow old. That was one argument. Another argument here is that I'm supposed to feel tension here. The building is shaking, there's fire everywhere, and I shouldn't want to multiple times look at something. I should be they should be giving me incentive to quickly grab the shoe and probably throw it at the medallion up there. So not necessarily what I would have done in terms of design here. Not bad per se, just probably no consequences whatsoever to waiting, but not what I would have gone with.
Well, at least that thing took some damage. I think it's a little loose now. There's a weird glow emanating from behind it. What the? It's sure to fall off and kill someone whenever the next earthquake hits. I just realized how long I've actually wanted to do this. Don sends his regards, ugly.
Damn. Hiding in plain sight.
Is this what Don was after? This looks nothing like the other editions. Creep factor just went up 200%. Who'd hide it up there and why? You're coming with me, weird book.
Okay. Not even given a choice. It's just
I
happening.
never thought I'd actually say this, but the Necronomicon feels weird in my pants. Oh boy, what an evening. Think, Buzz, think. Dawn's been kidnapped. The police? are a bunch of corrupt and incompetent tools, what do I do? Well, Orn can close up for the night. Things are way too messed up to stick around. The best thing to do is retreat to the bus cave, clear my head, and see what this strange book is all about.
I was not expecting that. I'm intrigued now.
Okay, safely home. What the hell was all that about? Is this really happening? Am I really talking out loud to myself? What is this book? God, I need to stop talking to myself. I sound crazy. Kitty, should I open this thing and see what's written in it? What do you say? You're a lot of help. Okay, might as well take a peek. Yeah, Kashaptuzi Dinger Kampa per Adonai Methatron.
Want to summon demons? That's how you summon demons.
What the? This is genuinely becoming really scary now, and I'm all alone. What do I do, Kitty? God, I wish you could talk back for once. Okay, I know I've been saying everything felt weird before, but that was really, really weird. Something feels very different now.
As much as I hate agreeing with you, something does feel very different now.
I know, right? Maybe reading that out loud wasn't such a good idea, huh?
It sure seems so.
Right? I mean... Whoa, wait. Are you actually talking back to me?
Took you a while, huh? I feel like we were in a much more productive place a few moments ago. You know, analyzing the situation. Maybe working toward a solution?
You talk.
I stand corrected. You seem to have a firm grip on the situation.
But... how?
You just read an incantation, and then wished out loud that I could talk back. So...
This is wrong. This can't be happening. This is wrong. Wait, I know. I'll just find the spell or whatever it is and reread it and reverse this. That should work, right?
You're not really expecting any kind of relevant answer from me, are you?
Right? I mean... Oh, what the... It's gone. I can't find it anywhere. This was definitely the page I read it from, but there's different text on it now. What the... Should I read it out loud? Wait, sorry. I wasn't considering your point of view here. Do you want to be a...
Talking cat? Please don't take this the wrong way, but that's a resounding and definitive no. I just don't want your kind of problems, man. My deal is sleeping, eating, and generally being decorative.
I can get behind that. Okay, here goes.
None of those are what I said before. I'm surprised they did not go with Klaatu Virata Niktu, classic magical phrase for silly casting here, but alright. Let's try any one of them.
Rabmi lo yakzi ishtari kampa. I wish Kitty would go back to normal. Did it work?
Darn it, can't even meow right anymore. I think it's safe to say it hasn't.
Oh boy, this is a problem. By the way, Kitty, nice to meet you.
We've known each other for years, dude.
Kitty, is that what I call you?
Haven't you been doing it for years already? Dumbest name possible if you ask me, but I don't care either way. I don't need one.
So, are you gonna stick around?
No, I'm gonna walk the earth like Caine in Kung Fu. You'll stick around and undo this. You really think I want to be like you for the rest of my life?
That's gotta be racist or something.
We're not even the same species. We need to find a way to reverse this, so get to thinking.
Yeah, you're right. I'm on it.
All right, interesting, interesting. I like the cat. Remains of cake, lighter. Okay, probably gonna need lighter. Oh, cat's an item now.
Get it yourself. You're the one with opposable thumbs.
Oh, okay, interesting.
It's our one and only treasured lighter. Well, Lemon's lighter. I'm kind of afraid of working the stove or oven.
That does not bode well. Our
Gonna
hero
grab
is
this for a
afraid of
while.
cooking.
Not on your life, buddy.
That's been there since Lemon left for that esoteric retreat. I'm frankly afraid to touch it. Oh, no. I never eat Lemon's cooking. He puts stuff in food. Weird stuff. That's our tiny fridge. It's usually either full of Lemon's dubious cooking or completely empty.
Gonna go with empty, but let's check it out.
Hey, it's
Oh.
not completely empty.
Kind of Dr. Fisher.
Gonna grab this. For some reason, I picked up this can of the foulest soda widely available. It's our oven. I'm deathly afraid of it. Long story.
Oh, okay. Apparently there's a story
Look,
behind it.
I'm afraid to touch the thing. I have this long-running fear of leaving the gas on, and then the dorm explodes, and I'm not even slowly walking away from it. I just stand there in tears. No. I'm not sure I can bring myself to open the oven. I'm a weak, weak man.
At least he knows. Oh, it's longer. Okay.
Hey, Kitty, think you can open that oven for me real quick and take a peek inside?
Sure thing, boss. As soon as I grow opposable thumbs, you're gonna have to man up and do it yourself. Come on, Buzz. You can do it, dude.
I can?
Yeah, it's just fear. Stupid fear.
Yes! And fear is the path to the dark side. Fear leads to anger. Anger?
Open the damn oven, Kerwin!
Yeah, yes, yep. I did it! Hey, and there's Lemon's key. Oh, and there's a cookie in here. A suspicious one.
Okay. Let's accept the cookie. See what happens.
I think I'll take it, you know, for sustenance.
Ugh, I would not recommend you eat that.
I'll take it either way. Very suspicious cookie. Effects remain to be determined.
I will not be eating that.
Scenic Transylvania. That's where my roots are. Man, I hope I get to visit someday. Okay, I've got to get my head back in the game. Someday soon, I hope.
Yeah, pretty. Let's move on.
I assume sooner or later we're gonna have to feed that cookie to someone. It's a bit of a classic in adventure games that a lot of the heroes are a bit of a jerk type character, not necessarily in their countenance or the way they talk to people, but puzzles can sometimes involve doing things that make other people eat things or suffer effects of something, or you just end up stealing things, and the morality of it is never really explored. It's just something you do to move the plot forward.
That's Ron Dilbert.
See what they did there. For those who don't know, Ron Gilbert, not Dilbert, is a famous adventure game designer.
He's really grumpy. Ron can't help us now.
Never pay more than $20 for a computer game.
Action figures.
They're not toys, okay? I don't play with them.
Well...
I don't like this new situation at all.
Cat knows, man. Cat knows.
What's left of my once impressive action figure collection? I guess I'm growing or something. Completely useless right now.
I wonder if that is a Skylander reference. This looks like one of the giants. This looks like a reference to the Buster Sword from Final Fantasy, actually. Probably just random.
Please don't drag me into your immaturity.
Oh yeah, because cats are so mature.
That's Kitty. My, Kitty. Yeah, I know. Not the most imaginative name.
Totally understandable.
Really?
Yes, really. If I were called Buzz, I'd be reluctant to get creative when naming anyone, too.
Touché, pussycat.
Very fair point indeed.
I'd say she looks cute, but she's within earshot.
Stop.
Nah, I don't need it.
It's an embarrassing baby picture. Move on.
My tablet. It's been charging for 2 days now.
And yet the charger is right here on the floor, so...
Dead as... well, dead. I don't think I'll bother her about it. No use. It's dead.
Well, I can't pick up the charger, so obviously it's meant to stay dead. I guess the only thing we had to do here was get the key, so let's see what happens in Lemon's room.
Beyond this impenetrable portal adorned with god-awful decorations lies Lemon's Shangri-La. He's such a hippie it hurts. Me mostly. Lemon's locked the door when he left for that esoteric retreat, and of course he has no phone signal or internet. Great. Kitty, I'm a little stumped here. I have no idea what to do next.
We're clearly in over our heads. Maybe we should reach out to someone who knows more about this black magic thing.
You've got a point. Wait, how about my roommate, Lemon?
He's my roommate too, remember? Yeah, he does know a lot of people. A lot of suspicious people. They're really into his homemade cookies, for some reason.
Suspicious people is definitely who we're after.
I've seen him write down names in this little notebook. Maybe we should look for it.
He's away on that esoteric retreat thing, though. No way to reach him. We're gonna have to find a way to get inside his room.
Like the key we found, maybe. Okay, that's interesting. Sounds like some kind of mechanic tracks how long I've been waiting around trying to look at things, or maybe how many clicks I've made, and eventually they're going to give you a hint as to what you're trying to achieve here. In this particular case, it was a bit weird because we'd already solved it. One of the first thing we did was find a key, and then we were just messing around trying to see what else we could figure out. And by the way, there's a reason why I did that. The idea is not necessarily just waste time, but in adventure games, there usually is a lot of information hidden behind the look option. There's a lot of information there, usually in terms of character backgrounds or location backgrounds. So it's usually a good idea if you want to get a good feeling for a game, if you want to learn a little bit more, or even maybe help you out in figuring out puzzles later on, to just look at everything.
Lemon's locked the door when he left for that esoteric...
Yeah, okay.
I can squeeze under doors. Lemon knows that. He made this door particularly unsqueezable under, remember?
Oh yeah, he did do that.
Time to use that key. Okay. Severely decorated closet, minuscule guitar thing, curious book, gaudy ippy cloth. Incense stick, tribal mask. Alright. Double glitch on the cat's coloring here.
I have a feeling somewhere inside this horribly over-decorated piece of furniture lies what we're looking for. My eyes, they water. Alright, Kitty, I have a feeling the notebook we're looking for is somewhere inside this locked closet. Can't really think of a way to open it.
Couldn't you just randomly combine some household items into a makeshift key or something?
I'm sure I could, but I was thinking maybe you could shoulder this particular burden.
Let's not make a habit of this. Ugh, this patchouli stink is giving me dizzy spells. Oh, here it is. I haven't done that since I was a kitten. Still got it.
Okay, we're gonna wait before looking at that because that's obviously what we're here to do. And earlier on, when I did the correct thing, the game just moved on without me before I can look at other things. So we're gonna finish with the diary thing. Gonna look at everything else first.
It's one of those tiny cute guitars.
Right, and before I move on, the comment there about combining multiple household elements to make a key is also it's a meta joke essentially for adventure games. In a lot of older games, it happened a lot that you had to combine some pretty random things in order to create something else and eventually solve something. Keys are a classic one. I've had games make me create copies of keys using soap as molds and all kind of weird stuff. There's a part in Gabriel Knight 3 where you have to use syrup and cat hair to fake a mustache so you can take a picture to make a fake passport. There's no reason why that should work, but hey, it works. Whatever. So it's a classic adventure game. That was the joke there.
It's cute. Oh no, my band days are long gone. I don't think she'd be inclined to play that thing. I think it's supposed to be a fertility idol. Kinda scary if you ask me. I would not sleep with that thing above my head, I'll tell you that.
Fair enough.
We thankfully have no need for it. Primitive or not, I doubt Kitty appreciates art.
Actually, I've been a little into cubism lately.
Snob.
It's a cat. What else is she gonna be?
Of all things whose purpose is to be lit up, this one scares me the least.
Sorry about that.
Patchouli, what else?
What else indeed?
I can't just snap my fingers and produce fire, unfortunately.
Oh, I actually do want to light it up. Okay, cool.
Yay!
This is not gonna end well, is it?
It's lit up and stinking up the place.
Do I look like a lighter to you?
Nope, it's already lit up anyway.
It's a book Lemon left open. Well, let's see here. Page on the left says, a compass is a magnetized pin floating in a solution. It's not the 1700s anymore, Lemon. Jeez, what a Luddite. Page on the right says, invisible ink. Use lemon juice to write secret messages on paper. Only you will be able to then read them by bringing the paper close to a source of heat. Note, make that a source of mild heat, not open flame.
Like an incense stick, for example. So I'm betting we won't be able to read the diary unless we bring it over there, but let's look at the cloth first.
Oh, that's gaudy. Hey, looks like there's something under this. What do you know? A pair of scissors.
Okay.
The pages are all blank. What am I missing here?
absolutely nothing. Click it again.
Let's
yeah.
moderately heat this baby. Yes! It worked. Lemon, one too many cheesy detective novels. Alright, kitty. Now let's see this list here. Woo! I think I got it. How's VG for all your supernatural needs sound? There's the address. We're practically neighbors.
It's the best option we've got so far.
There's something I'm not sure I mentioned before. This detective that was looking for the Necronomicon, Dawn, got kidnapped right in front of me.
Oh, right, you've mentioned it. Let's go.
But we gotta try and rescue him.
All right. Do you know who kidnapped him?
I guess we have no lead yet.
Lead. Sam Spade over here. You know how you humans always stereotype us as being selfish?
Sorry about that.
Don't be, because in my case, that's exactly how it is. I'm sorry, but I could give a kitten's fluffy tale about your detective friend. My main worry right now is my own predicament. Why didn't you call the police or something?
Oh, Darkham PD, only the most corrupt and despicable organization in town, makes these cultists look like fuzzy bunnies nibbling on baby carrots by comparison. No, we're on our own.
Interesting imagery. Anyway, your friend Don's on his own too. It's a catty-cat world out there.
How about we keep him as objective B, alright?
Whatever makes me A works for me. Let's roll, Marlowe.
Alright, kitty. Looks like we're on a quest together. Any cool battle cry-like words before we embark on it?
I'm a little hungry, and I'm afraid my fur's going to get all matted in these filthy streets. Sorry, you were saying?
I was thinking more like time for, you know, whatever adrenaline-pumping music kids listen to these days.
Time for Bossa Nova.
Let's get on with it.
Rare.
Okay, I really like the cat. I really, really do. That's nice. I was actually worried because when the game came out, I was looking forward to it back then, and I didn't play it back when it came out because I'd read a review actually that said, no offense to anyone who might have been working on the game, but that's just what the review said. It said some of the voiceovers, including the cats, was actually grating, a bit annoying. So far, I don't feel that to be the case. Maybe in the intro, the cultist, not too sure about it, but they were saying the cat was extremely annoying, and so far I find it to be not at all the case. I really, really like Kete, I should say, the way they spelled it. So really, really looking forward to this game because that was my only fear that the voiceover might be a tad unpleasant, and I'm really happy that they're not. So really looking forward to playing this game. Okay, so we can go here, whatever that is, probably where we came from, maybe. There's this little girl, walled archway, a bridge, looming tower. Let's start with the girl here, who's holding a very creepy doll. Of course she is.
A weird-looking kiddo in the middle of the street. I think I'd better talk to her.
I'm not scared or anything. I just don't... you talk to her, okay?
Yeah. Creepy little girls are rarely a good thing in horror settings. Just saying.
Hey, little girl, what are you doing in the street by yourself this late at night?
Hey, big guy. What are you doing disturbing peaceful citizens for no good reason this late at night?
Well, let me try that again. What's your name, kiddo?
If you must know, it's Priscilla.
Are you sure you don't mean Priscilla?
Do I look like the kind of person who can't correctly pronounce their own name? It's Priscilla! What's your name, smarty pants?
Buzz.
Buzz?
My dad really loved his electric shaver.
I really don't think there are actually stats in this game. That was probably a joke.
Hey, I was just genuinely concerned.
Well, don't be. Drop my fishy and that's lying up there, and Grandma let me come out on the street and try to get it. But I can't reach it!
Aren't your mom or dad around?
Mom and Dad moved to Fishmith last month. And we'll move there too. Soon. Not until I get my fishy!
Fishmith might be a Cthulhu reference. I think there's a dark myth or something like that in the myth. I'm not all that familiar with the mythology.
What's so special about that fishy?
Fishies are the greatest, you ignoramus! Plus, it's my fishy.
All right, settle down. Can't Grandma help you out?
Grandma's been taking her bath for quite a while now. Grandma says we'll go to Fishmith soon.
Sorry.
We're just waiting for this big bathtub we ordered to be delivered. Grandma can't go traveling without her new bathtub.
All right, weird enough. You know, this just feels wrong somehow.
I'm a dark-haired little girl, standing in the middle of the street at night, holding a doll by the hand. Scared yet?
Scared? Nope. A little bit creeped out by how irresponsible your grandma is, I'll give you that. So, you're just, standing there, huh?
People tend to do that in this kind of game.
Yeah, I always wondered about that.
I just like to watch them, sitting there, clicking their little eyes away.
Okay.
That was good. That was really good.
Aren't your mom or dad around?
Mom and Dad moved to Fishmith last month.
Okay. Okay. Just want to make sure that you have an option to remember what your objective is. She really is just looking at us. That's great. Those are very scary looking fishes.
Ugh, never could stand fish. How people can eat that is beyond me. I like that glass right there between those monstrosities and me.
We have bigger fish to fry, Buzz.
I see what you did there.
Let's try the graffiti first.
That sign keeps popping up all over the place lately. It somehow looks old.
Looks like a glyph of some sort.
Wouldn't know what to do with it.
It doesn't look like it'll snap me back to cathood, Buzz.
Fishmith's Own. There, now I'm that one guy in the theater reading the title out loud. That was as much interest as I could muster up about this shop sign. Nothing to do with...
I can climb higher than that. Easy.
Conveniently, I'm gonna ask you to catch the fish.
Who has a fish doll?
She does.
Think it's that little girl's fish doll. I can't reach it from down here. Hey, kitty, how about you climb up and get that fishy for me?
Well, you gotta ask yourself, Buzz. What do we stand to gain from me exerting myself in that manner?
Nothing for now, I guess.
See?
Don't anger me, feline.
Come on, Buzz. You're embarrassing yourself.
Don't you want to do it just to put a smile on that little girl's face?
You mean that pale abomination? How about we have nothing to do with her or her face? How's that sound?
Your heart is the tip of a glacier that was accidentally bitten off by a blind, evil old sea monster, kitty.
Don't try to flatter me. It won't work.
Hideous fish dressed as a human. That's definitely a reference. I know there are humanoid fish monsters in the mythos. Don't know anything else about them, but I know they exist.
If they're trying to keep people away from Fishmouth, it's working. I'd hate to have him do my taxes. Not only do I have no use for it, it has no reason to exist.
I can climb that thing, no problem. I just don't have a reason to.
Okay, I'm just gonna try going in there just to make sure that it is, because we changed chapters, so maybe he moved into the street where we have to go. Just want to eliminate the possibility that this is a whole new area. I think it's just gonna go back into our apartment. Just want to make sure. Yes. Okay. Perfect. Oh. Okay. Good. Now we know. So we have an area to the right, and we have a bunch of stuff we can look at over here.
That ominous tower belongs to the local waterworks. I wonder if they can pump water up that high. There's talk of a dozen people jumping off it. I guess you could call it popular. No thanks, I'll stick around for now.
Oh, wow.
I could land that fall with my eyes closed. I just don't wanna.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've never crossed that bridge, and I got there several times. Ever notice how philosophical bridges are? People come, people go. Ugh, friggin' thoughts, go away. I doubt a little elevation would alter my perspective on things. Nah, I need her around. Used to be you'd absentmindedly open this door and the whole of Darkham would be flooded.
Oh, wow. That is bad.
Is that water I hear lapping behind the wall? Back then, door. Now, wall. Kid A has no use for that walled archway.
Okay, I get it. It still looks like a door to me, that's why I keep trying to go, but I guess what they're saying is that there used to be a door and now it's walled. Looks more like those are bars, actually, so...
It's the door to the fishery. It's closed and locked.
We have bigger fish to fry, Buzz.
I see what you did there. Christopher Valiant Street. Never heard of him. Thank you for your sacrifice, Christopher Valiant. Tiny Prince says his body was found headless on the street, so they named it after him. Charming story. Well, he can now quit while he's ahead. At least it brought things to a head.
Christopher Valiant is an okay guy. There, happy?
Male model picture.
Man, that's one attractive dude. This picture of a male model, I feel like I need to have it.
Well, take it.
Just to be clear, I'm not picking this up for personal use.
No judgment here, bro. Okay, so we can go left or we can go right. Let's see, what did it say? Oh, we don't have it anymore. Alright.
It's the dreaded Necronomicon.
I wanted to look into the book again to see what was the address of where we wanted to go, so I don't remember which street it was on. Doesn't matter, we'll try them both, and there's probably going to be things to figure out either way.
Void Smoker Alley. Never heard of him. Let's check out the tiny print. Apparently, this guy was a struggling artist that aged naturally while his portraits stayed the same. What a lousy demonic deal.
Wow, okay, wow. That is also a reference to a book, The Portrait of Dorian Gray, for those who don't know, which was exactly the opposite, actually. The man outside of the picture stayed young, but his image on the painting actually kept growing older. It's a classic literature character that tends to be reused in a lot of pulp culture. He was one of the characters in the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, also in the Penny Dreadful show that got a few seasons a couple years back.
Could have been worse. Not sure how exactly, but it could have. Here's to smoke in the void. Here's to aging like a fine wine, void smoker.
Thanks for being a good dude, Void Smoker.
That's Jeremiah Orn, Old Man Orn's ancestor. He's practically the father of the Miskatonic Library. Thanks for the post-generational job opportunity, Jerry. Statues are a new concept to Kitty, but she still doesn't look impressed. It's really weathered, but I think it says, Park gate removed due to blasphemous activities in the area. Hop fence at own peril. We do not refund garments or pay for hospitalization. Nah, we gotta keep the citizens informed. Kitty can't read.
I'm learning real fast.
Kitty can talk, bro. Maybe don't assume things.
That's some ominous looking flora right there. I'm not a weeds guy, thanks.
No thanks, I just went recently.
Let me just make sure there's not another zone back there. Okay. So the other place was probably the correct place to go based on what I'm seeing here, but we're still gonna explore here first.
Unless my eyes betray me, it's a taxi, a yellow one. There's a guy inside, but I can't quite distinguish his face. She's not leaving without me. Plus, we're both broke. Evening.
It sure is.
Do you know anything about this mysterious building you're parked next to?
Look, kid, it's a taxi, not a guided tour bus.
Get a lot of customers tonight?
Not if you don't move out of the way, I don't.
Get a lot of customers tonight?
Not if you don't move out of the way, I don't.
Got a scoop.
Notice that the line did not go away and it didn't change when I clicked it again. So most likely this is going to be part of a puzzle somewhere down the line.
Big D Street. No idea who this guy's either.
Oof. Don't know where they're going with. Well, I have an idea where they're going with this. I hope it's not where I think it is.
Alright, let's look at the tiny print. Absent-minded professor and big proponent of video games in general. Will forever be remembered for always choosing keyboards over controllers. Man, they'll just name streets after anyone these days. At least he was into video games. I'm sure this street sounds way naughtier than intended. I'm sure this street sounds way naughtier than intended.
Thanks for supporting video games, Big D.
Yeah, they knew what they were doing. They absolutely knew how that sounded.
No idea who this guy is, but his beard looks real tentacly. Is that a nose or a beak? Man, Darkham City Council is all weird when it comes to statue choices.
Right, so earlier on, they keep saying Darkham, 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 and there's even the Darkham Asylum there. Earlier on, I made a reference that maybe there was a reference to Arkham or to Gotham due to the color scheme and such. But, I mean, there's also Arkham directly in the Cthulhu mythos. So I'm assuming it's really more of... They just added the D, essentially, to turn it into Darkham. So yeah, I guess I was just thinking too far ahead. It was actually a lot simpler than that.
I want nothing to do with this guy, whoever he is or was. Statues are a new concept.
Okay. So, it might be the right place, actually. If we're looking for occult stuff, we've got the Baron Samedi here and small dolls. Could be occult related.
Aw, look at the cute voodoo dolls. Who would just leave them here? On the other hand, who dared touch them? but they'd look great on that shelf near my bed. These dolls are probably already voodoofied and best left where they are.
Don't mess with voodoo, bro.
I don't go for dolls. I'm more of a laser pointer girl myself.
These dolls are probably... What do you mean, Somdi who? Just Wikipedia, you slacker.
Right. Well, I don't need to. Baron Samedi is, of course, a classic, well, not a classic, but a well-known character in, well, well-known part of the voodoo myth, cult, religion, not sure of the proper word for that. He's very associated with death, I believe. I'd have to look him up myself, which I'm not going to do right now, but at least in pulp culture is very, very associated with death itself.
The Baron's not to be trifled with.
That is very correct.
They haven't been formally introduced.
Okay, so the eye, the moon, the asylum. Okay, we still got a few things to look at.
People really love blistering eyes everywhere. Did you know that the mere graphical suggestion of an eye can unconsciously make you more apprehensive? Can't, don't wanna.
It's not real, Buzz. Get a grip, buddy.
I'm gonna look at those, then talk to the lady, then open the door. If that does not turn out to be the correct place we need to go for the occult location, I'm just gonna go straight to the right place. We've been looking at random locations in text for a bit now, and just want things to move on.
They say the guy in charge is a real joker.
Okay, maybe I was not completely wrong with the Batman references then.
I hear they've been having a bat problem over there. Well, it's the moon.
Interesting, by the way, that they call the game Gibbous, which is 3/4 full moon, and so far all we've seen are crescent moons.
Nah. That's pretty much it. Nah.
See, it's a crescent moon, and then that's pretty much it. Was it really worth putting 2 inputs in there just for that? Don't think so. Let's talk to the lady.
It's a nice-looking blonde lady. Yup, definitely a nice-looking blonde lady.
Nah, it's your chance to talk to a girl.
Hey there. Hello?
Approaching the only women on benches at night, are we? Not interested.
I'm sorry, miss, but I feel this strange urge to bother everyone I meet and ask a lot of questions.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Sorry, let me start again. My name's Buzz.
Oh, that's just preposterous.
I have a B-shaped birthmark.
What?
Nice evening we're having, huh?
Really? Why don't you just keep it original and ask for the time?
I think I'm misrepresenting myself here.
Yep.
Oh, sure.
Gotta run.
So run.
She was not impressed, my friend. Okay, let's look at this small window, see if we can get a plot going.
This small window somehow communicates with the interior. How cool is that?
That's generally what windows do, my friend.
A warm reddish-orange glow emanates from its tiny opening. Even she can't squeeze in through there. Hello there? Password? Ken sent me. Wrong game, my friend.
Probably a reference to an adventure game, but I did not get that.
Hello
one.
there? Password? Swordfish.
Too classic.
If anyone in the chat knows what reference that was, I would be very, very interested into knowing which game the Ken sent me reference
hello
was.
there?
Password?
Password.
Nice try, buddy.
Was worth a shot. Okay, we're probably in the wrong place, or we need to find a password. We've clicked on everything here that I know of. And nothing is unlocked, so we're probably in the wrong place. We're going to try the other street. And hopefully something will happen. And the reason, by the way, the reason I'm not trying harder to get the doll is that I don't think we are going to be allowed to pick it up yet. That's another thing with a lot of adventure games is they let you pick up weird stuff for no reason. Like, why do we have scissors? Why do we have a suspicious cookie for no reason whatsoever? But then you arbitrarily can't do certain things because reasons. There's no good reason for us not to be able to pick up the fish right now and get going with the storyline with Priscilla. But for some reason the game wants us to do something first. And when I say there's no good reason, it means no apparently good reason so far. There's probably one for plot reasons, like someone's going to eventually ask us to do something for this little girl in exchange for helping us out or something like that. It's going to be a chain of quests that you have to do in a particular order. It's going to make sense when we figure it out, but for now it's just an arbitrary... They're just arbitrarily gating the game, essentially. Let me see, though. Before we move ahead, is there something we have here that
It's
might
a picture
have
of a
been the
male model
password?
I picked up from the street. The picture, that is.
Okay. Can we use things in other
I don't want to cut Mr. Handsome
Okay.
over here.
Just checking.
Nah, I don't need to cut it.
Alright. Actually, let's try this. Before we try the new zone, I'm gonna try giving the guy in the window the cookie, because there was a reference earlier that Lemon's friends like his cookies, so maybe, who knows, that's going to do the trick.
I don't know who's behind that door, so no.
It's worth a shot. Okay. Let's try the new zone. Oh, that's the library. Let's see what he has to say, because earlier when we were here, we were actually done Archetype. Love the name, by the way. So maybe we got something else here.
Darkham is particularly horrid this time of year. Maybe Mom should have stayed in Romania.
No time for sightseeing.
I just have to walk down the stairs to go back to it. Well, at least it's not Fishmouth. Do I really like it here? You never really stop and think about it. I really need to get out of this place. Permanently. Well, if it isn't stinky, crumbling, wretched, repulsive old Darkham. The place I call home. I guess human beings will adapt to anything. I just...
No time for sightseeing.
Okay, this time we can look at the moon. Interesting. Well, we could before, but it was not a hotspot, is what I mean.
Oh, moon, mistress of the night!
Kerwin!
I'd love to look at it again, but Kitty's gonna throw a literal hissy fit.
Let's keep moving.
Mr. Orne really likes his library covered in spiky vegetation. I guess it does hide some of the more unfortunate architectural choices. If I wanted to go up there, I think I'd just use the staircase. I don't. No point in making her climb them. That's Steve, the gargoyle.
Yeah, it's a name. Interesting.
We go way back. He's down with the vegetation, son. He's into the herbs, bro. He's all about them weeds.
Overplaying that joke a bit there.
Steve is the silent type. They wouldn't like each other. Staying's cool. I thought I was making such a statement. Or was I trying to be ironic and hip? Can't remember.
Interesting. I was thinking maybe they were going to go for that on the column that we'd find out he's the one who wrote it. And they did.
Why am I staring at this thing? I've got important things to attend to. There's something very wrong with me. I seem to be fascinated by this column. I'm trapped, frozen in place by the sudden realization of how beautiful this expression of aesthetic triumph and architectural...
Get a move on, Kerwin.
Right away.
Yes. So we just found out that Kerwin is actually a Toreador.
Its only use is keeping the building from crashing down on us.
Sounds like a good use.
Yeah, it's gosh darn beautiful. Let's move on.
Okay. Let's go into the library. I assume it's no longer on fire. No, it is actually on fire, and no one's doing anything about it. Interesting. Okay. Still shaking.
Of course, the hideous thing survives the deflagration. I don't know why I'm looking at it again. I hate that thing. It has no use. She cares nothing for art.
You call that art?
You have a point. Some of the most fascinating books I've ever read. I personally and lovingly arranged them all in one book rack. All gone.
Interesting, because Don was saying none of those books were
Such
interesting.
a loss. All gone. She's not into books.
Says you.
A very intriguing looking book. Maybe I should take a closer look.
Maybe you should.
A very convenient treatise on the order voodoo magic ingredients should be used in. Whoa, convenient to say the least. Mental notes. Sometimes examining items several times really pays off.
I'm gonna pick it up because that was
Do it
a
yourself.
voodoo place.
You're the one with opposable thumbs.
It was a voodoo place we went into, so most likely it's gonna come in to help. Come in. Not help, sorry. It's gonna be useful, is what I'm trying to say.
Amazingly, none of the maroon books look damaged. Die-hard little... They're the last thing I need at the moment. That hogwash is the last thing I need right now. She's not into books.
Says
That's
you.
you. Okay, and nothing here we can do. Alright, okay. So we obviously missed something. Let's look at the book first.
I don't think I know what I'm looking for.
The password is what you're looking for.
Keep that toxic sludge away from my whiskers, man.
Oh, Kitty, we can interact with Kitha, but okay. She doesn't show
It's
up as a
Kitty,
hotspot.
my cat. She talks now.
Your cat?
Just a figure of speech.
Hopefully, she's gonna give me a bit of a hint. This door, probably the one on the other side. Blonde girl, why won't you help me get Priscilla's doll from up there? Do you really have to be unnecessarily mean? Kitty's remember everything else, but remember when I brought lady friends home? Let's start with the one that sounds useless. It's probably going to be funny if we're lucky. But just to make sure, you know, we start with the useless things first and then move on to the important stuff.
Kitty, this might be a weird thing to ask, but remember when I brought lady friends home?
Yeah, those were rare enough occasions that I can remember. Oh, I see where you're going with this. I have no interest in that. All the kissy sounds are just... ugh. I tune them out.
Good to know.
What's a bit harder to tune out are the audio olfactory clues to how your digestive system works. Or rather does so poorly.
What?
Ugh, just don't fart around me anymore, okay?
Oh, right. Yeah. Sorry.
They had to do that.
Still mad about being humanized?
Very much so.
Okay, just checking. Darkham's just beautiful at night, isn't it?
No.
In a creepy kind of way?
No.
It really isn't.
I don't agree. Alright. Let's start with the doll. Just to get... Because it sounds like she said you can jump there and get it easily, so maybe that's something we can resolve quickly.
Kitty, why won't you help me get Basila's doll from up there? Do you really have to be unnecessarily mean?
Look, Buzz, I'm a very goal-oriented cat. We need to find that VG person. That little girl's problem can wait.
I somehow feel you're wrong about this.
Whatever.
What do you think of the blonde girl, Kitty?
Seems to me like you want her on your side.
You mean like befriend her?
Yeah, I guess. Find something to talk to her about.
Maybe she knows the password.
Kitty, how do we get past this door?
I don't know. Examining our surroundings? Talking to everyone? Cunning and ingenuity? Sheer luck and using everything on everything?
Thanks for pointing out all the options.
Okay. Sounds like we've clicked on everything, looked at everything, done pretty much everything. I'm gonna try all kinds of random.
No way. She wouldn't care about it. I don't think she cares about this dude. No soda for kids, especially not this horrible kind. You know, I actually doubt it'd impress her.
Alright. Very glad the cookie did not work.
She's not interested. Nah, she doesn't need to see good-looking dude. Yeah, that would totally not make me look like a psycho.
Not at all. Yes, it would.
I wouldn't do that to her. Wouldn't make me look more endearing, would it?
Maybe we have new conversation options. Who knows?
I'm just curious, did you get the same password I got, or is he cycling them?
Oh, I got. Hey! You can't pull that trick on me, mister.
Gave it a shot. Anyway, I was wondering if you're waiting by this mysterious door.
Oh, did he give you the boot too? He told me I just have to sit for a while and rethink what I wished for my husband.
He told you?
The gentleman, dummy.
Oh, of course. So, what'd you wish for your husband?
Why, his untimely gruesome death, of course.
Of course.
I'm Margot, by the way.
Nice to meet you, Margot. So the gentleman wouldn't help you off your hubby, huh?
Something about not doing any literal harm and using the forces for good to balance out recent events. Blah, blah, blah.
Did you try marriage counseling?
That's where I got this address.
Okay.
Wow.
Can I ask what your husband did to make you homicidal?
Oh, I'm perfectly convinced he's trying to murder me to get my money.
Ouch. Wouldn't it be easier to just divorce or write him out of the will?
Yes, I guess it would be. But what better way of responding to murder than with, well, murder?
I'm never getting married.
Say, you wouldn't happen to be a gun for hire, would you?
I'm a librarian.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Ahem.
I was assuming that we were gonna let me choose other things. Games like that usually do. Doesn't matter what you told them before, they magically forget that you just said you were certain things and then you're something else. I was hoping there would be a joke with the librarian thing. Maybe even a reference to Night Vale, that would have been nice.
I happen to be in anything for hire.
Want to make an easy buck?
Sheesh, I really can't this week. I have this cursed ancient tome and a talking cat to take care of, so,
I get the feeling you're pulling my leg, Buzz.
Oh, you'd know if I did that. I'm an undercover cop. Put him up. Psst.
Yeah, right. Let me see your badge, officer.
I left it in my investigating pants. We got different pairs for different assignments, you know.
Return in those pants and you're free to arrest me.
Cleaners said they'll only be done by Tuesday.
They got badge shining services too.
I walked right into that one. Never mind. Gotta run.
So run.
Okay, we got further, but not quite there yet. We need something that's going to convince her that I'm a cop or something meaningful. Let's see if the taxi guy has anything else to say.
There's that blonde lady over there.
Oh yeah, brought her here a while ago.
What can you tell me about her?
Man, that sounds creepy as hell. You an investigator or something?
Yep, B. Kerwin, P.I.
Yeah, sorry. Not gonna say anything, son. Her business is her business.
So about the blonde girl.
Yeah? What shit are you?
I'm her legal advisor. I just keep close and make sure she doesn't do anything crazy.
In that case, I don't know nothing, ain't seen nothing. Goodbye.
I'm her priest. I'm really worried about her soul and stuff.
Well, God bless you, Father. But look for divine inspiration elsewhere, will ya?
I'm a friend. I'm a little worried about her, so I watch her from afar.
Oh, friend. Right. I happen to have overheard what her name is. You know, taxi stuff, nothing creepy. Surely you know it too, since you're friends.
She did say her name was Margot in the conversation before, so let's try that.
Sure, it's my friend Margot.
Huh. Guess you weren't lying. Well, might as well tell you. She dropped something on the back seat when she left, but she was out of sight by the time I noticed.
She's literally around the corner.
Oh yeah? How'd you feel about returning this to her? Looks like a letter. It might be important.
You can't get out of the car, take a few steps in that direction and return it yourself?
This is a business, kid. I might lose a customer.
Yeah, sure. Let me have it.
Good man. Say, you won't open it, will you?
Not a fan of the phrasing here, but I feel like that's what I need to do to get the letter, so let's go for it.
Do I look like the kind of fella who'd pry into the opposite sex's correspondence?
I wouldn't know what that kind of fella looks like. Thank God. Here you go.
Oh, boy. Okay. It's written small. Beloved Margot, here it is. An old-fashioned letter. Since you said email can be easily intercepted. I even tried writing it by hand, but, well, you don't want to see the result. Missing you. Your sweet perfume. Your golden hair shining in the morning light. Your glittering, expensive jewelry. Oh, Margot. Margot. Are you sure about Tony's intentions? My God, he's your husband. Would he really go as far as hurting you, or me for that matter? I know I was against this initially, but now I'm convinced. You need to see the voodoo gentleman and try to get him to do what's needed. I've started this poem about you, but it's so hard to find words that rhyme with your lovely name other than cargo or embargo. I'll persist. I'm looking forward to seeing you. It hurts. You are the paramedic to my horrible freeway pileup. Yours, intermittently but lovingly, Charlie. Nice guy aura removed. Yeah. Let's see if I can talk to her first now that I know a few more things. There we go.
All right, Margot, I'm gonna drop the act here. Charlie sent me.
Charlie who?
Charlie, your lover, that's who. Things are getting complicated and he said I should take it from here. I need that password.
Well, all right. If Charlie said so. The password is Fidelio.
Fidelio. Okay, don't do anything stupid, just stay put. I'm on it.
Understood, Buzz. Oh, I do hope everything works out fine.
Don't worry, I got this. Well, good luck in your endeavors.
Goodbye, Buzz, and thank you.
Yeah, sure. No problem.
Alright, cool. We got this so far. No need for a walkthrough yet. That's very good. Just gonna save over this.
Hello there?
Password?
Fidelio.
Okay, before I click anywhere, there's a question in the chat. Noxiferum, yes, yes, Darkham. This is set in Lovecraft's universe. Essentially, it's the game is Gibbous, a Cthulhu adventure. It's a humorous take on the Cthulhu myth. There's jokes all abound, video game and pop culture references, as well as literature references all over the place. It's actually pretty good so far. I like it well enough. I don't know when you came in, so just to maybe get you up to speed. Originally we were playing as an investigator who got hired by a weird cult to find a Necronomicon who was supposedly hiding in plain sight in a local library where this character that we're now playing worked. And the cult kidnapped the investigator, which was called Dun Archetype, bad pun there, and now we're trying to find this investigator, but in the process we actually got our hands on the actual Necronomicon, and our friend here, Buzz, had the brilliant idea to read it out loud because that always ends well. As a result, his cat named Kitte now talks and is pretty pissed about it. So our quest is to essentially return our cat to normal and find the investigator if we can. That's about it so far. We've looked into our apartment, found some clues to a potential shop nearby, which we just got into right now, where they might know more about the occult and possible ways of restoring our cat to normal. That's roughly what we've been doing for the past hour or two. Oh wow, that's a lot of hotspots. Okay. We will be going through all of this in a conversation, and that will be it for tonight. I'm trying to do about 2 hours at a time, so when we're done with all of that, we're probably going to be at the 2 hour mark. Should be more than welcome, Noxifram. Glad to do so. Anyone comes in actually in later times, if anyone comes in later, don't hesitate to ask for a recap or ask any questions. I'm gonna gladly help you follow along. But as I was saying, yeah, I think when we're done here, it'll be about 2 hours, and it sounds like it'll be a good place to stop for tonight. After that, next week, quick reminder, we'll be playing the full demo for Werewolf the Apocalypse, Heart of the Forest, because we now have the permission to play the whole thing. And a week after that, we will return to Gibbous. So for now, let's explore everything here, see what we can find out. Strange vegetation. Any relation to the one we found at the library? Who knows?
There are strange, spiky vines all over this crazy place. He's really got a vegetation problem in here. I really don't want to touch the strange, spiked vines. Sinister and appropriately illuminated. Well, they look more African than Caribbean to me, but hey. I have enough creepy stuff surrounding me, thanks. Hey, isn't that's identical to Lemon's mask?
Indeed it is. Lemon, by the way, since Noxifrom just got here, Lemon is my roommate, and he is the one who had a book with a reference to this shop in here, so it makes sense that there would be similar things.
They must be shopping at the same Swedish furniture shop.
Not Swedish, bro.
He either died in the 1700s or the 80s. The skull stuck to a piece of driftwood. Must have been a sailor or a mighty pirate. Who knows? No, I have a feeling he's been clicked enough while he lived.
Okay. I had a hunch, and I think my hunch might be correct. The way this room is set up here reminds me a lot of the voodoo lady in Monkey Island, in the original Monkey Island game. And I believe the name is Murray, if I'm not mistaken. In most of the Monkey Island games, the character Guybrush Threepwood has a friend who's a skull like this. I don't think he has a ponytail though, but still, it's a skull, and it's a talking skull. He's throughout most of the game, he's there, and he's the companion who you can talk to. Sort of like Kite here is similar role essentially, because you want your character to have always someone to do some back and forth banter with. So I'm pretty sure now, with the reference to a skull being clicked on in its life here, I think they're going with a very clear Monkey Island reference here.
Well, that's strange. It looks both human and ichthyoid at the same time.
Ichty what now?
Fish-like. It's given me the creeps. I wouldn't touch it for $100. Hey, look, it's a double-headed doll. Made in San Francisco. Looks plenty fine to me. I think I'll have to ask the voodoo guy first. It's an ancient voodoo chest. I can feel waves of eerie energy emanating from it. To be honest, it's freaking me out a little bit. That skull on top of it looks like nothing I've ever seen before. It looks firmly locked. I heard cats absorb negative energy and transform it into the good kind, but we're not gonna risk her napping on that thing.
Indeed. That is a very weird skull.
It's an issue of Vogue magazine. The headline reads, "The Fishmut Look." I'm sure I'm not into the Fishmut look. I don't want it. It creeps me out. That looks like an authentic voodoo throne. Given the lack of other amenities, I really hope it's more comfortable than it looks. It's a pineapple. Ananas scamosus, if you really want to know. It looks like a ship's wooden hull.
Yeah, they're going heavy on the Monkey Island references.
I'd wonder about its presence here, but given the rest of the interior decorations...
Bananas. Ancient cell phone. Wow, okay, let's do this.
Boy, that is one ancient device. I guess it somehow goes with the ancient theme he's got going here.
Hello, operator? I've never heard that one before.
Hey, these are Halloween skulls.
Skulls are skulls, alright? Sometimes it's hard to get the genuine article.
Fair.
I think I see some traces of glitter. Oh, totally unprofessional. That's an oddly shaped skull. Reminds me of a Mexican guy I once knew.
Oh, okay. This is a reference too. That one is a reference to, gosh, what's the name of the game? It's one of the last, quote unquote, last adventure games back in the, my God, end of the 90s, early 2000, I think. The main character was a reaper, essentially. You were playing literally a skeleton guy. His name was Manny Calavera. I forget, unfortunately, Grim Fandango. There it is. It was Grim Fandango, and that looks a lot like the head of that character there. It's a hilarious game. It's the end of an era, really. And oddly enough, the end of an era and the beginning of another one. There was a time where adventure games really dropped in popularity in that part. They didn't really manage the move into 3D quite well, so it was the beginning of trying to get into the 3D, not only graphics but mentality, because when you move into 3D you also have to change the way you do your entire interface, the way you think your entire games, and a lot of games unfortunately weren't very popular during that time, and which led to a period of about 10 to 15 years where adventure games were just not much of a thing for a long time. They're resurging a little bit now. Indie games, I believe, are helping a lot with Kickstarters, bringing them back slowly. But yeah, Gabriel Knight 3 and Grim Fandango were some of the games that tried to make the leap. And despite personally me liking those games, unfortunately they were not enough to save the genre.
Looks like a beat-up microwave oven. I guess Voodoo's somewhat keeping up with the technology. Not touching voodoofied home appliances. Not touching voodoofied home appliances.
That makes me think of, I think Nuxifrem will know where I'm going with this, but the toaster from Amityville, I'm sure you remember that. It was, okay, quick parentheses here. It was a series of web videos back when Flash was a thing, and there was one of them who was a hamster, a squirrel, that talked really fast, and is hilarious if you want to look into it. Yeah, do you remember what they were called, Noxifrem? So if people want to try to find them, because they're really hilarious, they're worth looking for. While Noxifrem looks for the title, essentially one of the episodes is him finding a toaster. Yes, Foamy the Squirrel. Thank you so much. He found a toaster from Amityville, and it was sort of a weird horror episode where they kept putting things in the toaster, and after it was done cooking, something completely different came out, like a ghost hand or like blueberry muffin. They were scared. It was really funny. Check them out if you want to laugh. Especially the musical episodes are really good. Here. We're almost done. We've only got the bananas and the sword to go, and then we'll do the dialogue, and we'll be set on time for tonight.
Looks like a pirate sword.
Again,
shiny.
Monkey Island reference.
No need for that in this day and age.
Nope, not the food guy. I want bananas.
That ish is bananas. I really don't know how else to describe them. I don't think I need bananas.
Okay, that was a lot to look through. I'm sorry it took a while. Now let's see what this guy has to say about turning my cat back.
Everything about this guy screams voodoo louder than Jimmy would. That is quite the eclectic getup he's sporting. I know I'm supposed to be intimidated, but somehow I feel safer around him.
Oh, wow. Really?
Everything about this guy screams voodoo louder than Jimmy would. That
Is
is
that what
quite the
you're doing?
eclectic getup he's sporting. I know I'm supposed to be intimidated, but somehow I feel safer around him.
I'm thinking there might be doing a reference to Tim Schafer, who is a well-known, very popular, well, not popular, but he's one of the big names in the adventure game industry.
Nah. Hi there.
Greetings, Wanderer, and be welcome.
Welcome, huh? Place doesn't look that welcoming.
You come seeking the help of the Voodoo Gentleman. You put up with the decorations.
Fair, fair. Let's do them one by one.
So, what do I call you? VG?
No, that sounds a little bit too gangsta. Voodoo Gentleman will do. Thanks.
Was that password part really necessary?
It is best that I keep a low profile, lest the jackals tax me right out of town. Thus, the recommendation-only access. By the way, who referred you to me?
I deciphered that ad in the classifieds?
Oh, I do regret putting that out. I've been getting calls about fine leather jackets non-stop ever since.
Interesting that it didn't. Okay. I thought we were just going for a joke with this one, but it's still there, so there's more I need to do with that one. It's probably ratting out
Was
on
that
Margot.
password part really necessary?
It is best that I keep a low profile, lest the... Thus, by the way...
Back. Let's do it and see what happens.
Margot told me about you.
Margot. Well, I'm glad to see you're alive and well.
Oh, wow, okay.
Was that...
It is thus, by the way...
Oh, maybe they just want us to be able to see all the different jokes. Usually when they do that in an adventure game, though, it's because you haven't picked the right choice, and there's one of them that's going to be important. I doubt this is that, but who knows?
I just happened to stumble onto your door and guess the password.
Darn it, I knew I should have added numbers and an underscore.
The Voodoo Gentleman? You do voodoo? I'm buzzed, by the way.
You do at least remember what you came here for, I trust.
Aren't you supposed to have an exotic accent?
Oh, that's so cliche. Plus, I travel a lot.
Let's try the joke answer before we get into the story one.
I can't remember a thing, Voodoo Gentleman.
Well, I guess that solved whatever your problem was, huh? That'll be 20 bucks.
Voodoo capitalism strikes again.
Oh no, voodoo capitalism.
I remember, all right. It all started when I found this book. Well, to make a long story short, I accidentally put a spell on my cat, and now she's even more annoying than she was before.
A spell, huh? How'd you go about doing that, Harry?
I used this.
Vaulting voodoo vixens is at the
Necronomicon in all its glory. Want to have a look-see?
No. Put that away. That thing should not be touched. Oh boy. I'm sure glad I'm not in your shoes. I can't help you with your cat, my man. There are some things even I don't mess with.
They're both good. Oh no. I'm gonna go with that one.
But voodoo.
Voodoo Schmoodoo, that book is ultimate evil incarnate. Well, I for one wouldn't keep it in my pants pocket. Just saying.
You are ruining voodoo for me. I hope you're happy. But my cat.
Ugh, cats. We never did get along. What are the symptoms, pray tell?
She kinda started talking.
Oh, look, the cat speaks. Come one, come all, see the freak.
She's really unhappy with her current situation.
Oh, ye gods, I've had this nightmare before. Maybe a pinch, but there's no cold sweat. How can this be?
It's real, Witch MD.
Well, crap. I mean, alas.
How could you tell it was a real Necronomicon right away? Well, maybe the eye on it was a giveaway, just saying.
How could you tell that was the real Necronomicon right away?
Most everyone imagines it all black, bound in human skin, bearing teeth. Only true initiates know it really kind of looks like one of those British sweater vests. You know, the ones with all the crisscross things.
Yeah, why is that?
I guess you sometimes just go crazy with the triangles and it just doesn't turn out as evil a design as you'd think. Still, the content more than makes up for it.
Pleasant colors, though.
Yep, very eye-pleasing. Yep.
Curious. Let's see if they say the same thing again.
How could you
Most everyone imagines it.
Yes, they
you
do.
know,
Okay.
Yeah.
Still.
Pleasant colors, though.
Yep.
Don't know why they kept it. Let's see.
What kind of operation are you running here, anyways?
One that stays away from messing with the old ones.
But it's just like a personifying curse. Those should be easier, right?
You'd think.
Bit of an inconsistency here. So far in the game, every line of dialogues, once I've used them, if they are not needed again, they disappear. But they're staying here. I wonder why they did that.
Oh, and a friend of mine got kidnapped, too.
You don't say. Something tells me it's also Necronomicon related.
He was kidnapped while looking for the damn thing.
I really wish I could help you out, but ugh. Was it a very close friend?
We talked for like 5 minutes.
So it was basically someone off the street.
Aren't we all basically someone off the street?
You sure are.
Can't you at least point me in some useful direction?
There is one person that could probably be convinced to delve into this kind of mess.
Yeah?
I was just getting into my intriguing plot development swing and you totally threw me off. Where was I? Oh yeah. There's this avid student of the dark arts, an undercover intruder into the Dagon cult. A dear, dear friend of mine. A man mad and passionate enough to wade through the occult mysteries of the Necronomicon itself.
Dramatic pause.
What's the matter? Cat got your tongue?
Did he just go there?
Sorry. I thought you were going for a dramatic pause.
But everything I'm saying is dark and morbidly fascinating, right?
Oh, absolutely. Just a second ago, I really think I detected some goosebumps.
Awesome! I've been working on my wording and delivery.
Tell me more about this dark intruder dragon guy.
Dagon, not Dragon. The terrible god of the murky abysses. The one who seems to have Fishmouth in his clawed grip for decades now.
Man, where do you get all this stuff?
I am a student of the occult stuff, my greenhorn friend. Plus Wikipedia.
So this Dagon's had Fishmouth in his clawed grip for decades. He's the mayor, then.
Worse than that, if you can imagine. But this is all hearsay, since most people have been just avoiding Fishmouth for years and years. I haven't talked to my friend in ages.
Different cell phone carrier?
That, and little to no reception.
About this dark student you mentioned.
I'm really on the fence here about telling you more. This could be very dangerous. And men in red shirts are notoriously unlucky.
Stop reinforcing the stereotype. Is this about money?
Money? No, I always seem to end up working for free anyways.
Please tell me who the man is. Sounds like he's our only chance.
It is with great difficulty that I even utter his name.
You haven't yet.
Not if you keep interrupting me. Are you sure you're ready to hear his worldly denomination spoken out loud?
Hit me. I'm bracing myself.
His name is Bob Olmstein.
Bob Olmstein. Just saying it makes my blood boil and congeal at the same time.
I know, right?
Okay.
So you're saying I can find Bob Olmstein in Fishmouth?
Well, yes, but let it be known I am not advising you to go there.
Doesn't look like I have a choice either way. Can you tell me how I can track him down once I get there?
Last time we spoke, he was staying at the Finman house.
Gotcha.
Just remember, we don't go to Fishmouth.
Okay. Alright. I will save here for tonight. It looks like we've got our hints as to what our next step is. Need to find a way to Fishmouth. Probably gonna have something to do with the weird fish doll we have to get for the little girl in the street. We'll find out in 2 weeks' time, actually, because, in case you forgot, next week we are not going to be playing this game. We're going to take a break for 1 week. We're going to be playing the demo for Werewolf the Apocalypse, Heart of the Forests, as I think I said before. From what I heard, the full demo takes about 40 minutes, so I'm thinking about doing about 2 complete playthroughs, one of them as a Ragabash, the other as an Around. So let me know in the meantime on social media. Yes, absolutely. Werewolf for the freaking win. Let me know which one you wanted me to do first, between Ragabash or Around, or if people are overwhelmingly in favor of a different auspice, let me know as well. I'll do whatever you guys want to do. But that's the plan for now. So see you all next week at 7 Eastern time, Monday, same time, same place, same link. We will be doing the demo, and only after that we'll get back to Gibbous, which I really liked, by the way. And then a Philo and a Galliard. Yes, actually, for the actual game itself, I was planning on doing a Galliard run. Maybe a second run as a Thurge. So, because I don't know how long the actual game will be. So I'm thinking doing the demo as several auspices might be enough to get a feel of how the different choices impact the story. We'll see how long the actual game is. If it's about 10 hours or so, then I will most likely do 2 or 3 playthroughs. That's short enough. But if it's 30 or 40 hour games, I'm probably going to stick it with just the Galliard, because that's my auspice. But that's all up in the air. I'm open to discussing it. Let me know what setmates essentially y'all. You just let me know. I'm easily available on several World of Darkness related Discords. All of them. We'll see. I'd like to. If the game is short enough, all of them is absolutely in one of the possibilities. Absolutely. Let me know what you think. As I was saying, I'm available in most of the World of Darkness Discord channels, on Gehenna Gaming as well, on the Permigens Discord too. Otherwise, you can find me as Yoden_2 on Twitter, and yeah, just poke me up there. I'm available to chat and see what you guys want to see. So that was that for today. Thank you very, very much for joining me. We'll see you all next week for some actual werewolf-related content. Looking forward to it. I'm really, really, really excited, actually. It was fun to do 10 minutes last time, but personally, that was not enough for me. I felt like we didn't really have time to dig into anything, so doing the whole demo next week is something I'm really looking forward to. So thank you very much for coming. See you all in 7 days. Goodbye.